Hey guys, it's EJ with Blockpad, and today we're looking at conditional formatting in reports and in spreadsheets, which in Blockpad you handle using style rules. So to get into it, let's look at a very basic example. I'll go to Style, Manage Styles, and here I will click New Rule, change Objects of Type to Dynamic Equation because I'm going to apply this to an equation. Apply individually. I'm going to name this pressure. Value condition, I'm going to say less than 1000 psi and press enter. Now I'll scroll down here and change text highlight to this light red and click OK. Now I'm going to close out of the Style Manager, click this equation, go to the Properties window, go down to this Style property and change it to Pressure. Now, if this value is ever less than 1000 psi, it's going to be highlighted red. So that's really the basic steps to do conditional formatting in a report, but there are a lot of good details to know while you're doing it, so we have a few more examples to walk through. Now, I'll go to Style, Manage Styles for a new rule, change objects to dynamic equation individually. This one I'm going to name check fails. And for value condition, I'm just going to use double equals and type in false. Now, this is going to be how these checks are formatted when they're false. So I'm going to make them this dark red. Click OK. Since they're dark red, I'll change the text color to something white so you can read it. And padding so that we can make this nice and big and noticeable. Click OK. Now I'll close out. I'm going to hold the Control key and click these. Go again to Properties, Style, and click Check Fails. Now notice that since these have failed, they've had that formatting applied. But since this one is true, it has no formatting at all. So let's say we want to apply some formatting to true and false results. We're going to go again to Manage Styles and create another rule for a dynamic equation. This one we're going to name check passes. It's a value condition because it's conditional formatting. And we could type equals true again, but Blockpad, it will also work if you just type true. Similarly for false, it would have just worked just typing false. So we'll type that. And all we'll change is text highlight to this light green and click OK. We'll close this, Control click these, and change style to check passes. But notice that when we do that, that got the false answers overwritten, and we want both of these to be applied. So I'm going to Control click these, and style, we need to click more options. So we have check passes. We want to add check fails. So now we have both check passes and check fails applied here. And we'll see both of those things applied. If I change pressure, then they will all be green. Now let's do another example. I'll click New Rule, Objects of Type, Equation, individually, and I'm going to name this one Push Force. And for the value condition, I'm going to be referencing this push force required. In order to do that, I have to type in the top level frame first. So this is going to be report 1. So I have to type in report 1 and then a period. And now I see all these values that are available in report 1. So I'm going to click push force sub required. I'm going to apply this style to this value. So when this value is less than push force, then it's going to be formatted. For formatting, I'm just going to click text highlight, change this to light red, click OK, close out. Now I need to come here and change the style to push force. So now, if this is a bigger value, I'm going to see this turn red because it's less than that value. Or similarly, if just the pressure changes, that's also going to make that turn red because now push force is less. All right, one more example for this report frame. Style, manage styles, new rule, equation, apply individually. I'll call this one rod. And for value condition, here I'm actually going to use what's called an inline function, which is like a custom function that you create just inside of the formula. I'm going to put a link in the description below about how to use inline functions, but this is kind of just a brief overview. First, I'm going to type in a name. So this could be anything, R, could be item, could be rod. The equal sign and the greater than sign for the inline function symbol. And now I want to type in what I want to do. So not 1 inch less than R less than 3 inch. So this is going to apply the formatting if R is not between 1 inch and 3 inches. So now for formatting, I'm just going to change text highlight to this red, click OK, close out, and remember, we have to go to the equation and change the style property to rod. And now if this value is less than 1 inch or greater than 3 inches, then it's going to be highlighted red. It's only going to show regular if it's between 1 inch and 3 inches. So that's what I've got for this report frame. Next, we're going to cover conditional formatting in spreadsheets. So first of all, you can apply conditional formatting using the same exact method we use for reports. So style, manage styles, new rule. This time I'm going to choose any table cell instead of dynamic equation. Apply individually. I'll call this volume. For the value condition, I'm going to say less than 2,000 inches cubed. And then for the property, I'm just going to change background to this light pink and click OK. Close that. Select these cells. And then in the properties window, change style to volume. And now that's highlighting all of the values less than 2,000 inches cubed. In spreadsheets, you also have another option. You can select the cells first, and then click this conditional formatting tool up here. And now we're going to type in the condition. So here I'm going to use another inline function. I'm going to say area equals greater. And then I'm going to say 500 inches squared less than area less than 1,500 inches squared, and click OK. And when I do that, it brings us to the Style Manager where we can apply the formats. So that automatically created a style rule applied to any table cell, applied to this range, which is the cells we had selected, and the value condition we typed in. So I'm just going to change background to this light purple and click OK. Notice that applied the values over here to it applied the property between the values 500 inches squared and 1,500 inches squared. Okay, so that's all I've got for conditional formatting. If you're interested in how to use other style rule tools, then we have 2 videos on that for generally applied styles and for individually applied styles. And I'll put links to that in the description. Okay, well, that's all I've got. Thank you.